fire over here, and my dad is today making a great fire for barbecue. And look, it's very nice to smell. It's some very nice smoke. And today we're cooking some spare ribs and potatoes. Well, we forgot the potatoes, but this is very good. Muy bien y fuego. Goodbye.
Well, this shot with my son, the fire, the barbecue, with these views, sitting in one of my favorite chairs by my cabin. This represents everything that I was missing like 10 years ago, because 10 years ago I was in this "is this it" phase in my life. I was around 22, 23, 24 years old, and a moment came and I realized, I remember exactly when it was. I was in the gym and I was, in the gym with my friends, and I was just like in my mind and wondering, and I was just saying out loud, asking them like, is this it? What do you guys think? Is this it, what we're doing? And I was doing everything that society taught me to do. I had my house, a rental house. I had a relationship. I visited birthdays. I had a job. I had an income. I had a car. I had hobbies. I did sports. I went to the gym. I had friends. We did like activities in the weekend. But deep down, deep inside, I felt like at best this life is a 6 on a scale from 1 till 10 on average. So sometimes it was an 8 or a 7. Sometimes it was like maybe a 4 or 5, but average it was around a 6. And I was arriving on this point that I was realizing like, is this it, this 6 for the rest of my life? Like, I'm now in my 20s. And do I need to serve this out until I'm like 50, 60, 70 on a 6? I was like, something is not right. But I wasn't aware of other alternatives. I wasn't aware of other examples. I wasn't aware of like what was possible. The only thing I started to question was my conventional lifestyle, and the question around like, is this it, came up. And the beautiful thing around this question is it's not true, because it is not this. The question invites to think deeper. The question invites to reflect. The question invites to search. And the question basically only comes when you're missing something. And what it is for everyone, that's different. For one person it's maybe greatness or being competitive in sports. For another person maybe it's being more authentic. For another person it's having more freedom in a family situation with a relationship and kids. But somewhere down the road, we make decisions based on external input or external voices or patterns or things that we are taught, and we are losing connection with who we truly are. And at one point, we wake up and we feel this emptiness, and then the question comes like, is this it? And I had it as well, because now I realize I have a high value of being authentic, walking my own path, having a free life. And back then I did everything around how everyone was doing everything, and it was just not fulfilling. And the beauty in my process was eventually I came in an inner state that I started to hit these 7s and 8s more on a scale from 1 till 10, but my life was still a 6. And I was realizing, if I can have the inner state of an 8, but my life is still a 6, there is like a gap, something is not right. But if I can feel this 8, the 8 exists, and then the 8s exist also like outside of me. The 8s also exist in like the physical world around me, in relationships, in friendships, in activities. So I was arriving in a year, 2 years, that I dared to let go the 6s. I dared to let go some friendships. I dared to let go my living space. I dared to let go my relationship. I thought everything was a 6, but I feel this 8 right now. Just goes. And it gave me space to rediscover myself and to find new things, to find new ways, to find new energies, to find new connections, to find new manifestations around who am I in this life. And eventually, and there is a video about this from a few weeks ago, it brought me on a place in Spain in a other retreat center, and there they had this life designed around purpose, around their own gifts, around living in nature, around having your children close by, around living in another country, and this lifestyle, it was resonating so deep with me. And there, for the first time in my life, I felt this is it. Where I never had this. I never had this. It was always just going along with whatever happened. And then I arrived on the stage like, is this it? And then I arrived on this point like, this is it. And from there I knew what I wanted to do, where I needed to go, and what my new direction, my vision, my direction was, because I had received the example of what was possible. And I felt like the 10 out of, from a scale from 1 till 10, I felt this 10 in this lifestyle, what I saw there. I felt this 10 in the resonance, my 10. And from there I knew like where to go to find this 10. So that was basically from 2, 3, 4 years, this journey from like the 6, experience the 6, going to the 8, going to the 10. And now, many years later, I have even designed a retreat around this, like the Is This It retreat, for people who are in this like phase, in this transition state. And the last hour sitting here with my son was a big, big, big thing for me, that I wanted to be a dad, but a present dad. A lifestyle integrated with my children around, not like with my children separate, that they go to school, babysit, nanny, whatever, and I only see them 2 hours in the evening and in the weekend. Being here, sitting around the fire, having the process of making food as like an integrated part in the day, instead of having food very functional because the day is occupied by all these other things. Having a nice view, drinking a good mate, in 15 minutes, opening like this beautiful beer, and just being like this the last hour, I felt like, yeah, this is it. And this was one of the things what I was missing like 10 years ago. Slow living, connective living, living in my own space, in my own rhythm, and just design the day from my own inner voice, instead of all this conventional stuff where I was listening to how I had my life designed. So I wanted to share this moment with you. My son is gone, but he is very soon there again. And I wanted to share this journey with you, because it's not that I am brought up in this way of living. My parents did and are doing a whole other way of living. It's not that I knew always that this was possible, or that this was it, you know. And it had a journey. It had a journey in it to find this. So I wanted to share that, this moment and this journey. And I'll see you in the next video.